Okay, I've got the same part here in SolidWorks, or same part roughly in SolidWorks and in Solid Edge. And I've built the part natively in both softwares, and here in Solid Edge it doesn't really matter if it's native or imported, but in SolidWorks it does. So let's take a look at how it's done here. It's we roll it back. We got a block that we started from an original sketch like this. We've got a cut on one side. We got a cut on the back side, which is 3 separate holes. It's they're all sketched circles within a single cut feature. And then we got a fillet, and we got another fillet, and then we have another cut extrude that's on the other side. Now, if we wanted to make some changes to this, we can make just about any change we want, really. And that's one of the advantages of being good with the software, is that you know exactly what to do. If you want to move this hole so that it's concentric with that fillet, well, the holes come before the fillet. So what you'd have to do is, you know that the fillet is a radius of 0.3. So we'd have to go into this sketch and dimension the hole 0.3 from the back. And let's do it also from the side. But then, part of your design intent would also include these 3 holes being in a line. So you got to go in here and give these some sort of a relationship. And if this one's going to be right in the middle, you can put it on the midpoint there. And then all of these 3 are going to be the same size. So you give them an equal relationship. Now we've still got something that's missing here. Okay, the middle one is not lined up on the origin, and the 3 aren't in a straight line. So let's give it a relationship here, and give this line another relationship. Okay, now everything's fully defined, and we say okay. So something's out of whack here. Okay, I never changed this one to 0.3. Let's make that 0.3 and rebuild. Okay, so now if we make a change to the position of this hole, the fillet isn't going to respond to that. So because it's a feature that doesn't think that way. I mean, the fillet feature can't say, "Oh, I want to make a fillet that's concentric with something." So wow, you'd have to reorder this. Okay, so I reordered that now, and but the sketch is still referring to the model. Wow. Okay, so the sketch is before the fillet, but the cut itself is after the fillet. Okay, now I've been using this software for a long time, and I just know that there's some changes that you're just not going to make using. You're not going to make them delicately, we'll say, using feature-based mindset. Once you've created your part, you're kind of stuck in how you're going to edit that. In fact, you're probably going to avoid certain types of edits just because your design intent is pretty much baked into your part when you've decided on your feature order. Okay, well, let's take a look at Solid Edge. Okay, and just have a look at this for a minute. Now we put some dimensions on here, but these dimensions don't necessarily have anything to do with how the part was made, because we don't care how the part was made. That's the main point in Solid Edge, is that you don't care how the part was made. let's go ahead and grab this face here, and I'm gonna drag and move that. Now I want you to notice a couple of things. First of all, it's not changing symmetrically, but that's kind of the way I've set it up. And second of all, one of the dimensions is changing. Notice this dimension down here is changing, but this dimension is not. It's moving. That's because when I click on this dimension is locked, and you can see that's designated by the color of the dimension, red, and while this one is blue, if I click on this, it's unlocked. I can make this same sort of change by clicking on this dimension and using the scroll bar, and notice that different things are changing in here. Okay, that's because I have this set to change symmetrically. I could change it so that one end of the dimension changes or the other end. Okay, you see how I did that? Right on the fly here, I'm making decisions about my design intent just by changing this one dimension. This is the kind of thing that you could not do in SolidWorks without spending 5 minutes reordering features and sketches and trying to figure out what goes where. Okay, that's the first thing I want to point out here, because it's a very powerful way of working.